This video is created by Jagrat Creations. It is useful to the students who are studying for CA Foundation, CA-CPT, ICWAI Foundation, FYBcom, 12th Commerce, or say any other course which has consignment account is a part of their syllabus. I want to solve one sum on consignment accounts. Observe the sum on the screen. This is a sum, CA entrance May 1979. I read the sum for you. Vilas Milk Foods Company Limited of Vilaspur sent to Mahek Stores 5000 kg of baby food packed in 2000 tins of net weight 1 kg and 6000 packets of net weight half kg for sale on consignment. So total quantity sent is 5000 kilogram. 2000 tins of 1 kilogram, so 2000 kilograms. And 6000 packets of half kilogram, so 6000 into half, 3000 kilograms. So 3000 plus 2000, this is how 5000 kilogram of tins and the packets are sent to be sold on consignment basis. Consignee's commission was fixed at 5% on sales proceeds. Cost price and the selling price of the product are given to you. Cost price of 1 kg tin, 10 rupees, selling price 15. Half kg packet, cost price is 6, sales price is 7. Consignment was booked on freight to pay on basis. To pay on basis means consignor sends goods to consignee and consignee has to pay the freight, which implies that to pay basis means generally expenses are incurred by consignor for sending the goods. But in this sum, the freight is to be to pay basis, so the freight will be paid by the consignee. That's an important point. Freight charges came to 2% of the sales value. One case containing 50 tins, 1 kg tin, was lost in transit and the transport carrier admitted a claim of 450. At the end of the first half year, the following information is gathered from an account sales sent by consignee. Sales proceeds 1500 1 kg tins are sold, 4000 package half kg package are sold, storage and insurance charge is 600. Find out the value of closing stock on consignment. Show the consignment account, consignee account in the books of Vilas Milk Food Company, assuming that the consignee has paid the amount due from them. This is the sum that I intend to solve. Now the first transaction that I am going to consider is goods sent on consignment. For that I rely on this first paragraph and this second paragraph. On the basis of this, I will find out the cost of goods sent on consignment. Suppose that if sum is to be solved by me by an invoice price method, how the sum gets solved by invoice price method and how the same sum gets solved by goods sent at cost method, I will demonstrate both here before you. For that invoice price, I will consider the sales price 15 rupees. And if the consignment account is to be prepared by wherein goods sent on consignment is to be recorded at cost, in that case I will consider this 10 and 6 multiplied by number of units sent. But suppose if I want to solve the sum by invoice price method, it is not asked to be in the sum, but I am going to explain to you. Then I will send the goods at an invoice price and the profit element therein will be recorded on the credit side of consignment account. So first item I will find out the cost of goods sent. The next transaction that I am going to consider is the sales, because the freight to be paid is on the basis of sales and commission is always on the basis of sales. So second transaction that I intend to consider is on sales. So this 1, 2, this will be considered for the goods sent. This is the third thing that I am going to consider. The fourth thing that I am going to consider is the consignee's commission. When I record the sales, I have to write commission. So this is the fourth transaction that I am going to consider. Fifth will be loss in transit. as well as the freight paid at the rate of 2%, that will be considered next. After recording all these transactions, once again I am required to find out the consignment stock to find out the profit. So at that time I am going to consider once again the sales details for the purpose of finding out the stock. This is the sequence in which I intend to solve the sum. Just observe. I'll bring one point one after the other these points on the screen and explain to you while solving the sum. Let me start. Now I want to prepare consignment account, consignee Mahek Stores account. The first transaction and the second that I want to bring together to find out the cost of goods, and as I told you, suppose that I want to solve the sum by an invoice price method. Then I'll debit the invoice price of goods sent to the debit side of consignment account, and the profit load, profit element in the invoice price will be recorded in the opposite side of consignment account. Let me do that. So goods sent on consignment account credit, consignment account debit to goods sent on consignment account credit. How many units are sent? 2000 tins at the rate of 15. That is the invoice price. 6000 packets at ₹7. So this is the invoice price of goods and consignment account debit to goods sent on consignment account credit, invoice price. Now what is the profit element therein? 15 minus 10 is 5 is the profit element in tins, and 7 minus 6, 1 rupee is the profit element in case of packets. That profit element will be recorded in the opposite side of consignment account if I want to solve the sum by invoice price method. So here, once again, goods sent on consignment account debit to consignment account credit. This is an adjustment entry. That adjustment entry adjusts or takes care of the sales value recorded on the debit side by writing profit element there in the credit side. So by comparison, the net effect is the cost of goods and gets debited. So here 2000 into 5 and 6000 into 1. This is the profit element. So invoice price is debited, profit element is credited. The difference between the two is the cost is debited. If I want to solve the sum by invoice price method, I would write in this fashion. I am not asked to solve the sum by invoice price method, but I wanted to explain you, that's why I am doing these things. I want to solve this sum by cost. So once again I will demonstrate how the cost is recorded. The difference between these two is known as cost, for with which this consignment account gets debited. So now I just remove it. Consignment account debit to goods sent on consignment account at cost, 2000 into 10 and 6000 into 6, 36,000. This is the cost of goods sent to the consignment. So what's the entry for that? Consignment account debit to goods sent on consignment account credit. Here I prepare a working note to work out the consignment stock. So 2000 units. Its cost is how much? 20,000. This is the consignment stock calculation note for packets. 6000 packets. 6000 into 6. This is the cost of goods sent. Both statements are separate because 2 items are there in stock. So I prepare a separate stock sheet for both, wherein I am going to find out the consignment stock at the end. Now, this is how the goods sent on consignment is recorded at cost. Now I want to record the sales entry. The goods are sold by Mahek Stores. Mahek Store is the receiver of my funds. So debit the receiver. So Mahek Stores account to be debited and consignment account is to be credited with the sales value. 1500 units, 1500 tins sold at 15 rupees per tin, and 4000 packets are sold at ₹7 per packet. So this total is the sales. This sales is credited to consignment account. This amount is recoverable from Mahek Stores. So Mahek Stores account debit to consignment account credit. This is how the sales entry is recorded. After recording this sales entry, stores, rent and insurance charge is 600. That's an expense paid by Mahek Store. Expense of consignment activity debited to consignment account. So consignment account debit to Mahek Stores account credit 600. This is how this information is considered. I'll bring this slide, this information once again at the time of calculating consignment stock. Now, when the sales is recorded, I am required to pay the commission at the rate of 5%. So 50,500 into 5%, this is the commission to be paid to Mahek Stores. Commission is my expense. Mahek Store is a giver of services, credit the giver. So Mahek Store's account is to be credited and the expense for consignment activity is to be debited to consignment account. So consignment account debit to Mahek Store's account credit. This is how commission got recorded. So 1, 2, 3, 4 transactions are over. Now after that I want to work out the freight to pay basis. Consignment was booked on a freight to pay basis and freight charges come to 2% of sales value. This is the sales value. So on this sales value, you are required to calculate freight at the rate of 2%. Is it right? No, it is wrong. Sales value is to be considered for the number of units sent because the freight is paid on the goods sent. Freight is not to be paid on the number of units sold. So 2% of 50,500 should not be calculated. I should calculate 2,000 tins are sold, 2,000 tins are sent, sales price is 15, so 2,000 into 15 into 2%. That is the expenses for freight for this 2,000 tins. That works out to be 600. Just understand, to pay basis, freight is to be paid on the number of units sent. Number of units sent should be multiplied with the sales price thereof. You will get the sales value of number of units sent. Multiply with 2%, you will get the freight. Same way, this is a cost in transit. Same way, 6,000 packets at ₹7 per packet. That's the sales value. Multiplied by 2%, this is the freight paid by consignee. Mahek Stores has paid this freight. So 600 plus 840 is the freight paid by Mahek Store. Consignee. Consignee is the giver. That's an expense. Expenses are debited to consignment account. So this is the cost in transit. Consignment account debit to Mahek Store's account credit. This is the freight paid by consignee. Consignment account debit to Mahek Store's account credit. This is how the freight is recorded. After recording this freight, one case of 50 kg lost in transit. So this is a goods. Out of that, 50 tins are lost in transit. So what is the loss? What is the cost of abnormal loss? 50 units are to be deducted. I want to find out the cost of this 50 units. So 20,600 divided by 2,000 into 50 is the 20,600 divided by 2,000 into 50 is the cost of loss in transit. 525 is the cost of goods lost. Against that insurance claim is received 450. So 515 minus 450 is the loss to be suffered by the consignor. But that loss is not considered to be a loss of consignment activity. It is to be considered as an activity or a loss of a general trading. So that loss gets debited to profit and loss account. So here I write the abnormal loss. Insurance claim 450. 515 minus 450 is to be transferred to profit and loss account. That amount works out to be 65. So this is how the entry for abnormal loss is recorded. Abnormal loss account debit to consignment account credit 515. Second entry, if I want to write, insurance company account debit or cash or bank account debit if the claim is received. Profit and loss account debit 65 to abnormal loss account credit 515. Now this is how the abnormal loss is recorded. Now I want to record consignment stock. So consignment stock is to be worked out. Here 1950 minus 1500 units are sold. Here 1500 units are sold. So 1950 minus 1500, 450 is the consignment stock. What is the value of that stock? 1950 cost is 20,085. How much for 450? If you work it out in this fashion, this is the value of stock. Now I want to work out the stock for packets. 4,000 packets are sold. 2,000 left with the consignee. Its consignment stock, its valuation is to be found out. 6,000 units cost is 36,840. How much for 2,000? So if you work out one third of it, 12,280. This is the cost of stock. Now here I have prepared a consignment account wherein the goods are sent at cost. So this is the cost of stock that I should credit to the consignment account. But as I told you, I want to demonstrate that if this sum is solved by invoice price method, how the goods sent is to be recorded. Same way I want to demonstrate with red color how the consignment stock gets recorded. So this is the cost of consignment stock. Profit element to this cost. How much is the profit element? 5 rupees per unit. Number of units are in stock 450. So 450 into 5. Profit element is 1 rupee per unit. Number of units in stock are 2000. So 2000 into 1. So this is the profit element. So this is the invoice price of consignment stock. If I credit invoice price here, then this profit element is to be recorded in the debit side. So I write with red color because I am going to remove it. So this is the stock recorded at invoice price, and this is the stock reserve recorded for the difference between cost price and invoice price. This is how the stock gets recorded when the sum is solved by which method? Invoice price method. But I want to solve the sum not by invoice price method, but I want to demonstrate the comparison between the two. So I have done it. Now I will record the cost of consignment stock. So this is the consignment stock, 16,915. So consignment stock is recorded. Now I want to find out the profit, total of credit minus total of debit. I will get the profit. This is the profit to be transferred to profit and loss account. This is Mahek Stores account. This is the sales proceeds receivable. These are the expenses and commission payable to Mahek Stores. The balance is to be worked out, that is received in cash bank account debit to Mahek Stores account credit 45,935. This is how the consignment account and the consignee account gets prepared. Now, as I told to you, if you want to prepare the same sum by invoice price method, how will it look like? Just have a comparison between the two now. Consignment account prepared at cost, consignment account prepared at an invoice price. Here 56,000, that's a difference of 72,000 and 16,000. Other things are same. Profit is also same, notice it. But stock is 21,165 minus 4250. That is the cost, that is 16,915. So same is the profit by cost method, same is the profit by invoice price method. Have a comparison between the two. Here I have recorded with red color. This is also red color. And the difference you will find in this cost method. Difference you will find in which method? This cost method, profit is same. As I wanted to explain both the methods, invoice price method and cost method, I have taken pains to explain while solving the sum, and at the same time, the final fact that is found in consignment account under these two methods is also demonstrated to you. I think that you all followed this sum. Thanks to all of you.